Do you need to audit your contract? I'm sure you've probably thought not, but the answer is yes, you do, and you need to do it every 6 months. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to DIY your own contract audit. So in the United States, we have what's called the freedom to contract, which means you can make your own contract and you can audit your own contract even if you're not an attorney. But just remember here that, of course, attorneys are a thing in the United States because some of the clauses or wording that you put in your contract may not hold up in court. And so lawyers are there to ensure that all of your clauses are valid under state law. But I really want to show you how to DIY a contract audit on your own because it's totally something you can do. It's free and it's easy to ensure that you're protecting your business more and more as time goes by. The first step in a DIY contract audit is to ensure that your contract doesn't include any confusing language. I want every sentence of your contract to be concise and to the point so that any layperson and you who read the contract understand what it means. I want you to use plain English as a person, and we as lawyers learn how to write in plain English too. Gone are the days of legalese. You don't want confusing contractual language. It does not make your contract any more valid or strong. It actually makes it worse. And here's my pro tip here for concise and poignant language. Make sure that you read your contract sentence by sentence backwards. And this will ensure that every sentence stands on its own and makes sense to the person reading it. And then, of course, if one of those sentences is very confusing and doesn't make sense, you would just want to rewrite it in plain language. Next thing you want to do with your DIY contract audit is check for headings and numbering and organization. So you want to have all of your most important clauses at the top and then all of your general provisions or miscellaneous clauses at the bottom. So fees, copyright, scope of work, so on and so forth, that's going to go near the top of your contract. And then with each of those types of clauses in your contract, I want you to ensure that you have very, very clear headings that really explain what that entire clause is about. And then you're going to bold and underline all of your headings. And then once you organize your contract to the best way possible for your clients to read, because remember, we're all signing contracts primarily online. So your clients are going to read the top of your contract very carefully. And then when they get to those miscellaneous provisions or boilerplate language that's in every contract at the bottom, like severability, transfer, entire agreement, venue and jurisdiction, they're going to scroll pretty fast through those. And so once you organize your contract, you're going to number them 1 through 30, 35, 40, and you want them in sequential order. The next thing you want to do is ensure that you don't have confusing cross-references. So if you do change or modify or add anything to your contract, you want to ensure that any cross-references that were already mentioned in other clauses are still intact and make sense. So if clause number 3 says in section 11, you can find XYZ, or as provided by in section 11. If you add a clause in between 3 and 11, clause 11 is going to become clause 12. And so you need to change that cross-reference that you have already in clause number 3. Speaking of changing or modifying anything in your contract, when you're DIYing a contract audit, you need to look back on your business. What has happened with clients in the past 6 months? What has happened with your business? Has there been any discrepancies or confusion with clients on your refund policy or your rescheduling policy or delivery of whatever your services and output that you're providing to your clients are going to be? So make sure that you explain all of these thoroughly in your contract. And if anything needs to be tweaked based upon what's happened in the past, you want to ensure that you do that during your contract audit so that you're secure for all of your clients in the future. Last but not least, figure out who your signatories are. Usually you always want at least 2 signatures at the bottom because a contract is not effective unless it's between at least 2 parties. You can't contract with yourself. But also for many people in, say, the wedding industry where you have two clients, which are the two spouses, you want to have 3 signatures at the bottom. You want to have both clients, and then you want to have yourself as the business owner. So just check and ensure that all of your signatories are in place at the bottom of your contract. If you need a little extra help as you're DIYing your contract audit, the Legal Paige has got you. We have a free checklist that you can use, and I've linked it here below this video. You can just print out that checklist, and then you can have it side by side every 6 months as you're doing your contract audit with your contract on one side and the checklist on the other, and you can just check those boxes to ensure that you're doing all of these steps. So if in the music moment you wanted to never let it go, you only got one shot. Do not miss your chance to blow, because opportunity comes once in a lifetime. It's the best rap I can do.